Greetings folks, and welcome back to part 3 of evolution and inspiration of my knives. Right, so this is part 3 and this is the FTP. Now I've been making the FTP full tang puko for a number of years. Can't remember how many exactly. We're all caught up here. It's got to be 7 or 8 years I think I've been making them. Right, so the thought was I wanted to make a bushcraft knife and I wanted to make one smaller than normal. Something you predominantly wear around your neck, which wasn't huge but could perform all the tasks you wanted to, especially if you had that axe and a saw in the mix. Now, my first inspiration came from the Bison bushcraft knife, the original Bison bushcraft knife. And I have one here, and I've had this one since 2005, 2006. Yeah, gotta be somewhere around there. And I've had a few of these over the years. I've actually got two. I've got a very, very early one, and I've got this one. And this is my favourite. And I just love the size of it. I love the 3mm thickness of it. And it's a small knife, but it just excels for carving. It's just a lovely little knife. I've said it before, it's my favourite bushcraft knife of all time. It really is. Lucky for me, I'm quite friendly with Roger who makes them. I've known him for over 20 years. And I'm sure he'd be delighted to hear me saying this. But it is. Simple, I've always said it, I love this knife. And I couldn't exactly completely rip it off because that wouldn't be very nice. So I thought, get the old grey cells going, what can I come up with? So I thought, a full tang puko, make a nice little squarish handle. No cross guards, none of that business, just keep it nice and simple. So I made a prototype. I have my prototype. Now this isn't my knife, this belongs to my pal Scott, because as soon as I made it and I showed it to him, he said, I love that. Can I have it? So I gave it to him. I think I gave it to him, I might have sold it to him, because I am a bit of a skinflint. So here is the prototype. Now I actually made this out of a bush tool blade. I ground the bush tool blade down because there's quite a lot of holes in the bare bush tool blade. I managed to get 2 bolts and a tube in more or less the right place. So this one is a bit thicker than I wanted. This is about 3.5mm thick, but you can see where it came from. Very similar dimensions. It's actually a little bigger than the Bison bushcraft knife. So I made this one. I had to play with it, Scott had to play with it. We were all happy with it. And then lo and behold, I'm looking online and I see so many practically identical to this knife. And I thought, well, I can't bring that out now and start making loads of them, because there were so many other makers had popped up at just the same time making a similar knife. So I thought, right, I'm going to have to change it a bit. Well, I was at the Wilderness Gathering show one year and Moonraker Knives and Accessories were there, and they had a knife in a cabinet. I thought, oh, I like that. That's a nice knife. Don't like the grind much, but I like the knife. I can get out the sheath. It's a Tops Tanimboka Puko. So I took a bit of inspiration from this knife. Let me grab another FTP. Now this FTP is 4 years old. This is actually my pal Russ's FTP, and I made him this for his 50th, so that's 4 years ago. so you can see how similar the handle is, but I didn't want that grind on it, and I wanted more of a spear point on it, so I changed the blade. Handle's a bit rounder. Handle on this one's a little bit larger than normal, but there we go. So you can see where I got my inspiration from, the bison and the Tanimboka Puko. Handle's a bit fussy on the Tanimboka Puko, and like I say, I really didn't like that grind. It's great for cutting food, but not for shaving wood. So that's where the inspiration for the FTP came from. And I get some really good comments when I make somebody an FTP. They've gone down very well, and I really like the FTP. So, 4 years old, and I've got the last one I made, and I made this for myself about 8 months ago. So the nice simple Kydex neck sheath, which I'm so fond of. And this one is in RWL 34, same as Russ's knife, but this has a slimmer handle. I've gone down to about a standard of using 8mm thickness on each scale, so it's nice and narrow and not huge. So that is the last one I made myself, and I've had quite a few orders recently for the FTP, and they sell well and everybody's happy with them. So if everybody's happy, I'm happy. There we are. So that's the, oh god, wrong way around. That's the FTP. There we are. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-ra! Greetings folks, and welcome back to part 3 of influences and fucking hell, I can't remember the name of it. Inspirations. Greetings folks, and welcome back to part 3 of evolution and inspiration. I gotta start again.